like 2004 or something. My challenge was what you just said, was to not like whine about stuff, you know, like once a round is done, just move on and play the next round. And I would like to be stuck in that one round. So anyway, that's a whole discussion for another time. Now we are live with the game, and it's Dignitas on the CT side. There will be G2 on the T side. So we'll see how that's going to play out here. First map of day 3 here at EPICENTER. And a big welcome to all of you. Do invite your friends and get them watching. This has been so much fun the first 2 days. Some incredible games that have been coming up. And this one is probably going to be just as good. We've got Magus down in pit. Got a little bit of a setup over at A, but not too much. A very thinly spread defense being put up by Dignitas. This is... I mean, they're just covering all their bases right now.
It's fun to see from G2 as well. It feels like the tendency lately has been very fast pistol rounds coming in from the T side, regardless of which map. It's just run and gun. But G2 decided to go for this very default kind of spread across the map, looking for a pick. And instead of RPK winning the duel versus Rubino, it's Rubino at the mid doors who's going to find the headshot on him. So G2, whole goal here was to just try and get information and find that opening pick to make life easier for themselves. And unfortunately, now they're the ones who are at a disadvantage.
Losing RPK, but a run boost in. The Body gonna pick up 2 kills. Unbelievable. And now Magus getting shot in the back. Shock's gonna take him out. What a brilliant play. Triple kill for Body. I am awestruck by what the French just did. That is incredibly cool. And it's a quad kill for Body. What a god.
Okay, then. Having a little bit of trouble processing that because I'm like, there's no way. And then all of a sudden it's just like over in 3 seconds. Because as soon as they get those kills, those 2 kills on the A site, Magus boy, what is he going to hope to do? He has to give up long, which is the last thing he wants to do. And obviously, Shox pounces on him. I mean, it was just the build-up for it to all be done. It's like the first round fight, and the guy gets clocked on the jaw. He has a glass jaw after all, right? The whole build-up, and boom, done.
The thing is, that's supposed to be the stupidest strat. That's something you call if you just have like a throwaway round anyway. Like a pistol round's really important. You're not supposed to do that. A good shot for Magus. He's looking for more headshots, and look at how he's using the angle here to make sure that they really can't easily get to him. Cajun needs to be a little bit more active right now, though. Magus is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's dodging that grenade, and there's Cajun making a bit of noise, but it's a little bit too late. Grenade going to take care of business. Then Rubino and Config come into it with a couple of kills, and MSL will be going down.
Well, Shox creates some space here. Now they don't actually have to commit to long. You do need to pick up the bomb, though, Body. Body, you do need to pick up the bomb. That 1 second's hesitation catches him turned away from Config when Config comes around the corner to peek, and that's going to cost him. Shox and Body both low. They're both within spammable range. And if he's got that Mac-10, you might want to reload it. Go back to the Deeg.
Might want to reload that Deagle as well. He's got 2 bullets in it. Config, not like this. The knife could be an option. Just stab him real quick. Shox is on the other side. Smoke is going to fade, and no bullets left. Config, I think he might have been, what's the word? A little bit tunnel vision there. I think he was so into that 1v2 that he just forgot that bullets are a requirement. Most of the time, anyway, to win this game.
He's just thinking, I only have time enough as long as this smoke is up. As soon as this smoke clears, I'm screwed because Shox is going to be here. Yeah,
and actually, I don't know. I find myself all the time wanting to criticize Config, but it's only because he actually is so good. And it's in spite of these mistakes that he's so good. That means if he fixes some of these things, he's going to be a god tier player. That's the frustrating part. But in that 1v2, he has so much time. They're the ones who have to put the bomb down. He doesn't have to run in anywhere. As soon as he picks up the Mac-10 and he has the Deagle, he should just be like, well, sweet, let me wait until I can see where they go. It's sure he had the bomb locked into the corner, so maybe he'd want to stick around that area and not run all the way in. But he could even do that. As a trick, he could even run into the middle, up on Catwalk or something like that. Like, there are lots of other options for him to do there. But I think that's what I'm saying. I think he gets a little bit tunnel visioned, and we saw it on Nuke yesterday. So I really don't want to give the impression that I'm, like, trying to, like, you know, beat up Config here, because actually he's very, very good. And that's in spite of some of these mistakes that normally, if you did them, if you weren't a good player, they would sort of ruin your whole game.
But we'll see how things develop, considering this is the first time that G2 are actually going to... Well, apart from the pistol where they survived with a few people, last round way too close. This time, they have 4 players that survive. 2 of those players actually picking up kills with SMGs as well. So this is a solid round coming in from G2, and we have to see how they decide to play it, because G2 have had a tendency in the past to heavily favor SMGs, even going into buy rounds. This is a thing that Envy were doing as well. So that you have 9,000 on Shox, right? You really shouldn't be holding on to 2 Mac-10s. You really shouldn't be holding on to 2 Mac-10s, but they're going to do it anyway. G2.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment. I think it's... I mean, Shox and Body could be the openers, and then if If they let go of an AK, maybe that's going to work out. They are really quick in the middle. Spray coming through from Config, almost connecting as well. And the crossfire with Rubino doing a lot of damage here to G2. They're going to try and reconnect in. Great grenade as well coming out. And this is falling apart for the French in the middle. Shox alone. He's in a 1-on-4. But it is Shoxy, so we're not going to rule anything out here. He's already taken now one. Molotov is in. He's charging through. MSL in some trouble. Headshot coming through. Shox now in control of the bomb. And in a 1-on-2. He's still got a lot more work to do, but this is definitely very much possible. He's now sneaking into upper. Look how well he's reading the situation. Meg is right around the corner. Oh my god! It's another headshot coming through, and now it's 1-on-1. Shox left, and the last player for Dignitas is walking in behind him. That's Cajun B coming in with the AWP. If he misses this shot, it could be a 1v4 at the very beginning of this game here. Shox hiding, patiently waiting. He's not even trying for the bomb yet, and Cajun coming around the corner, trying to check the angles. He's walking right in. Shox is there, and Cajun is he going to be able to look for him? Oh! No, he doesn't get it! Cajun turns around for the kill. What an unreal way to lose. That should have been it. I don't even want to see a face camera of Shox. He's got those puppy eyes. He looks so sad. I can't deal with it. I'll end up crying.
What in the hell is that? Just because there was some hesitation on G2's side with the MAC-10s, right? If the MAC-10s are going to run in first, you need to have the rifles right behind them to basically capitalize on your teammate dying. If your teammate is getting shot, while your teammate is getting shot with the Mac, when he's holding that MAC-10, boom, you're there to trade with the rifles.
Yeah.
It's really just the power of Shoxy. This is what he's capable of. And in particular on Dust 2, he always seems to shine on this map for some reason. He's just got it downloaded. And so, yeah, G2 should have just lights out lost that round. But Shoxy making sure that his team has a chance because now, okay, they have the money to buy in this round. Dignitas, however, 1v1, I mean, they have no money in the bank. If G2 pick up this round, Dignitas are in deep water.
I mean, I can't get over that. It's too much. They are setting up for a really nice execute here. Scream jumping right in. We haven't. Oh, but that flashbang doesn't work out. Cajun pulls the trigger anyway and gets the kill, and now he's going to try and fall back to long. This is a very smart play. Config dropping the bomb as well. Smith's going to pick up a kill, and Cajun is down. It's a good couple of refracts coming in here from the T side, and Body's really on fire. Sprays again. Can't quite take out Magus, but it's still a 1v2.
Yeah, because Shox catches MSL and CT spawn, and that actually just pretty much clinches it here. He's going to have to work his way up log, but Smith's fantastic shot from him. Going to hit that every day of the week. And well, that's the worst case scenario. And this is G2, I think, playing a lot off of tendencies, right? Look at Scream. He was just already looking directly at Cajun. If it weren't for that flash, I think he just runs right into Cajun because he knows exactly where Cajun's going to be playing from. Cajun is one of those players who just always sits car at long. And these are the sorts of details that both of these teams, these players are going to be very familiar with. They're going to know, right, okay, these are their tendencies. How can we exploit that? And G2, clearly, they've done their homework.
Okay, so that also shouldn't have been around for G2, I think. Dignitas got all the entries there. They got the first 2 opening kills. But they kept challenging again. They instead of just being satisfied with the 5v3, they sort of kept fighting a little bit too much instead of buying time for the rotation. And that was a big problem there. Doing some good damage in a round like this, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough. Rubino on point with the Deagle.
I thought you got that kill there for a second.
A little bit scary.
What's scary is this pace that G2 are setting. Look, I mean, there's G2 do have like that tendency. They can play both styles. Obviously, they can play the ultra aggro just like they can play the slow. But right now, G2 are deciding to really take control. This is what you can do on the T side. You're the ones who are deciding how fast the game is going to be played. Are you going to go for that slow, methodical, default map control style where you're going to clear out every part of the map and take your time? No, right now they're deciding we're not even going to let Dignitas get comfortable. We're just going to go running right into them, and we're going to bully these guys and make this our map. Because right now it's 5-1, and they're going to be set up for 6 unless, well, they get shut down here on B site, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, just following up on that. Good job from Scream here, taking out Magisk as well. Cajun did steal a MAC-10 from Shox over at long, but I don't think he really cares that much. Managed to create a bit of a distraction over there. It's going to be 6-1 here for G2, no doubt. And let's be honest, it should have been 7-1. Like, we were just in the wrong universe in that 1v4. Because in every other universe out there, it's Cajun dying and Shox just 1v4ing them.
Basically.
I'm just going to call it 1v4 anyway. I'm just going to forget that happened.
That is so sick, so close. It's just Shoxy. That's what he's capable of. And yeah, this is the kind of level that Shoxy has. It's just incredible. I mean, he's been in-game leading now for 5 months, since March, and he's just getting more comfortable in the role. But that's never stopped him from just being this ultra carry sometimes, where he's just, right, this is what I'm capable of. I'm good in op, rifle, pistol, clutch, entry, like just all the positions of the game. Shoxy's going to be able to come through for you.
And that probably explains a lot about why they're sort of running these, like this is the setup for like a very default strat, you know, just the default spread. And then the aggression, the power that comes through after that. I think that suits Shock's style a lot more. You know, he's not an existence type leader. So why try and be one? Why not just go for this, which plays to your own strengths? And if you have a player like Shoxy, you should build the team around maximizing his potential. But you've got some pretty good co-stars in that team too that could pick it up if anything goes wrong. So generally speaking, G2 just an incredibly scary team. Yanko predicting them to win this map, and it could definitely be the case. Cajun might be tested a little bit here. They are setting up for a similar type push as last time, and it did work out. Config going to be in a different position, or down on the slope instead of up by Goose. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Instantly headshot by Scream, and now they're out on long in a really bad spot, but Meg is picking up 2 kills. It's very unlikely that he's going to do that, but does go through.
Fascinating that the rest of the team don't commit to that push going up onto the A site. As soon as Config is down, that A site should be open, although Cajun is going to be tried, but the smoke was still down to block off Cajun, so really interesting. There's a lot of hesitation coming in from G2 with that follow-up, and now that's going to cost them. Smiths gets picked off by Cajun, who's now comfortably going to be able to hold this angle, and they have no more utility left to use G2. They have a single Molotov on Shoxy. That's it. No smokes, no flashes. And so really they have to hope, again, for a crazy performance coming in here from Shox and RPK, just instant headshots, because otherwise Cajun's going to pick them off as they try and make their way up.
MSL is going to get advanced warning, but they are also sandwiching in from the middle. MSL not quite getting the kill, and there's RPK with the headshot now. Rubino in a terrible corner. Oh, but he flicks right onto Shox, gets the worst one, and follows up on RPK. Great round here coming out of the Norwegian player, and that is going to be a second round for Dignitas. I was about to say, it's very frustrating to see Rubino not aiming at anything. Like, he was aiming in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, not at the door, not at the window, not even where RPK was coming from. He's just aiming in the middle of the bomb site. So, a little bit scary, but it worked out.
That's where it's like you could just see his eyes unfocus. And he's ready to react, to pounce. Peak Predator. Apex Predator, I believe. Right, whatever. Oh. Nah, not really the opportunity there to go for the pick, unfortunately, but still, I mean, 6-2 for G2. They're in a comfortable scenario, and they're actually going for the double AWP on offense. This is interesting. It's going to slow down the push onto the site somewhat, but can Dignitas really count on this sort of scenario where G2 can pick? It's like instant death if they pick a corner. So Dignitas right now, they can't peek. They have to just sit and wait for G2 to make the move.
On the other hand, what G2 have learned from the first 8 rounds is that Dignitas don't push anywhere. They're not aggressive on catwalk, in upper dark, really anywhere. So they will have space to move in with these AWPs. They're not going to be too afraid of getting caught all of a sudden. Now they're all the way in the B bomb side. Just Dignitas letting them this far in is a big problem. Rubino hitting a headshot, but he's very low on health. Going to put out a grenade, but MSL, if he goes down, then the bomb side's lost. Great double entry for Scream. And in the middle, Smiths is holding with an AWP. That seems like utter madness.
Yeah, that's where that second rifle, or that rifle should come into play, because now they're going to be able to close in on this Dignitas. They actually have a shot at the retake, even numbers, so it's not ideal, but at least they can put somebody over towards the B doors, and then they double up in upper dark, and this is really interesting, because Shoxy's camping on plateau right now, and Dignitas, they have to know, with an AWP still in play, boom, there's the shot, but Cajun not going to be able to react. He takes out Scream instead, but then Shoxy's there, and now it can turn into a standoff. So long as that bomb exactly continues to tick down, there's not a chance for Cajun to make his way into the site.
It's very, very confusing. I think Dignitas are being punished really hard by their defensive style. It is a real problem. This time, G2 are allowed to walk all the way into B before they even get spotted, and they just lead with like a little squad of 1 AWP, 2 AKs following them around. They could have done the same anywhere, and it would have worked. They could have done it in the middle. No one is doing anything flashy in middle. Could have done it on catwalk. Could have maybe even done it on long, because Jimegi is holding down on pit all the time. They could walk in pretty much anywhere on the map, and they will only be spotted when it's really happening. I want to see some counterplay coming out of Dignitas. Maybe not in this round, but next
that's
one.
the thing, right? Oh, nice shot. MSL gets tagged through the doors. But Oh, and it's going to be a straight B rush out of G2. No time to talk. We'll get into it after the action as Cage and B, who saved the AWP for this round, is actually going to start things off strong, and he gets them lined up. Does even more damage. Cage and B with 2 kills, and this rush is completely and utterly failing for G2.
He should have had 3 kills in that shot, I feel like.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I thought for a second he was just going to, line him up.
I was ready for the mega highlight, but that didn't quite happen. Shocks and Scream are left, though, and credit to KGB anyway. That's a pretty good way to kill a round. Although, again, never rule anything out, especially with these 2 left. Right now, it's up to Dignitas not to make any silly mistakes. It is Danish Counter-Strike after all, so gotta be careful here.
Well, that's what I was wondering, right? Because Dignitas are thinking, if G2 are going to be ultra aggressive like this, do we need to be playing aggressive, or should we just allow them to try and run into us, and then it just comes down to us hitting our shots? Because you pointed it out in the round before where they aren't going aggressive anywhere, Dignitas. This could be MSL's counter strat, right? Where he's saying, right, okay, if you're going to be super aggressive, then we're just going to sit and wait, try and use our utility to beat you up, or let Cage and B hold an angle with an AWP and wreck you as you try and come through. So, yeah. I mean, just counter after counter, really. There's different ways to go about it. But Dignitas could always just flip that switch and try and catch G2 off guard by going aggressive.
I would really like to see that. Scream makes his way past, and he's the one carrying the bomb. If he had got it down, then maybe Shocks could have held it from long for a while, but turns into a flawless round based off almost no equipment. They even steal another AWP and the AK there from Scream. So overall, a much-needed round for Dignitas here. 7-3 being the scoreline. I feel like, though... I'm not quite sure. I feel like this is a map where you can get away with not getting too many CT rounds. Like, it depends and it varies even from day to day with the same teams playing. But I think if you get like 6 rounds on this map on CT side, you're still in a competitive situation. And now we do see some aggression coming out.
Smith, gotta say that Smith has been on point right now with those gap shots. MSL down to 20 HP. Very quick entry onto long. Shocks is going to trade. Where is his teammate? Body just a little bit too slow there. Doesn't manage to get the kill, the return. And Rubino missing a shot. Clear cut in lower dark. Scream should have been dead 100% there. So some mistakes being made here by Dignitas that's going to wind up costing them. They're now behind as far as the health is concerned. Although, as I say, that config just sprays through and Body in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But that is very important. I mean, Body's one of the guys carrying an AK. They can probably go and pick it up, but G2 don't have too much equipment in this round, so this is a must-win round for Dignitas. If they start giving up rounds like these where the economy and the equipment is limited for the French side, that is going to be a really big problem. Got to keep the pressure on here.
Yeah, especially since they donated so many guns in the last round. That's a bit of a tricky scenario. Still, I mean, G2, they want to go towards B because they figure there are going to be less people here, or at least there's only going to be 2 people here, and so let's go ahead and have a fun time. Rubino doesn't miss this time, though. Catches RPK, gets the follow-up on Smith, who goes for the straight challenge behind, trying to trade the kill. And that leaves Scream in a bit of an awkward spot.
It is really good fun because what Rubino just did is supposed to be the wrong decision in that scenario, you know?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to shoot at the guy jumping because that's obviously the distraction, but he just hits him midair and then takes out the other roper anyway. That's good fun. Really well played by Rubino. But also a scenario in which the wrong choice still ends up being just fine.
That's tough. Maybe the communication was just barely off between Smith and RPK as well. Timing. If Smith's not able to get that shot in return, that's brutal.
Yeah, but it happened so quick. I think that's the problem. Rubino is so fast. It's ridiculous. He's going to challenge in the middle again. They don't have any equipment on the G2 side either. So now we'll see if they can make any impact here. That was a round where 4 people survived from Dignitas. The last one, 5 people did. So they must be building some sort of economy here, and that's something that they got to be careful about. G2, that they don't just let them end up with all the weaponry and all the equipment.
Exactly. I mean, 4 rounds left in this half. It's perfectly possible for Dignitas to just start getting that lockdown, especially because they have the double AWP. If they have all the utility to back up the double AWP, yeah, G2, they've got a bit of a tough scenario on their hands here because, well, this round is almost a given. Just write it off. You have no nades to make your life easier. And so really they're hoping to just overwhelm, strengthen numbers, rush somebody down, get onto the site and get the bomb plant. And while this makes sense, if they can get this 1 kill on config, they can plant the bomb safely where Cage and B won't be able to get the pick, won't be able to deny it. And so G2, I mean, this is a likely spot to just go for the straight rush, and it looks like another run boost.
Yes, indeed. Let's see if Config can play this one cool. He doesn't have to you know, fight every single one of them all at the same time. He could just sort of do this a little bit, and this is what I want to see. Just really slow. Don't commit to it. Reload the AK instead of just fighting with the rifle. Oh my God. I'm gonna need to have a real serious conversation with Config one of these days. Just, what? Oh my God. Shock's getting another couple of kills in. Why not? Triple kill with the Deagle.
That's unbelievable. Did they save the second AWP? That's what I'm wondering right there. Because Shocks again, how do you, like, yeah, again, in a situation where it should just be done and dusted, like, maybe they get 1 kill on Config, but that's fine. Dignitas can donate Config, so long as the remaining 4 stay alive.
Yeah, but the problem is they couldn't even get to Config because Dignitas had a player down on long, which is why he could have just sat down, reloaded the gun.
Sure.
He knew they wouldn't be able to rush on up anyway because Cajun was down along with the AWP, so if they try and get close to him, then they have to cross that line anyway, and it's just there are many reasons why that shouldn't happen, but nice shot from Shocks to take down Config. That's going to be a great early kill, and G2 fighting back here. Now a disadvantage for Dignitas, but whoa, the timing for Cajun.
Doesn't work out that time for Shocks. Nicely done by Cajun, wins the lottery, and Vegas just going for the random spray through to long. G2 have not quite made their way out. Now they have, and they lead with the bomb, and so they're committed to A long now at this point. Maze's boy catches RPK right on the edge of the smoke and manages to dart back to safety. Cajun B now set up. As soon as those smokes clear Cajun, he's going to have that long line.
Oh, the Molotov in. No! Maze, he can't make it out. You see him making the leap. He thought he had it. I know how he survived up until that point. Oh, what a brutal way to end it. It will be a 3-on-3, so I mean, they do stabilize a little bit, Dignitas here, and they even spotted them rotating back. So now G2, they still have 40 seconds, but it's really annoying, you know, when you escape from long like that, you don't want to be found out. You want to be able to make your way out without anyone realizing. I think they have a good setup right now. They've got Cajun covering the crossing because there are no smokes left right now on G2. Someone is going to have to draw the short straw. I'm betting Smiths to make the jump. Yeah.
So if he leads the way. Oh, nice incendiary. Oh, okay, Smiths. Right, low HP, doesn't matter. He gets the headshot with the AK. Now they're going to go jumping past. They can trade Smiths. And then Body still managing to pick up 1 kill. That brings us back to a 1v1. But Rubino doing work. He picks up 2 kills in that scenario. And now it's MSL alive, trying to stop this bomb from going down. 5 seconds left in G2. He knows they have to stick it. So MSL knows exactly where this guy's playing from. Not going to hit the headshot, though. And now it turns into a game of chicken. And MSL wins it. Body not able to come through for his team this time.
A very calm play by MSL. A situation that even 4 or 5 months ago, I would have said 100% of the time he would have lost it. Just because of nerves and because of not being the star player, you know, but very well played. Very collected of him. Now, that's going to be 6-7. Very close round. I think the fact that they didn't have a smoke for that cross really hurt them. And you saw the impact. And Rubino on point with the AWP. Those shots are really good. It's
the opposite of what we saw yesterday from Rubino. Well, Rubino, let's be fair. He's had like slow starts on his maps, and then he's been able to come back into it. This time around, Rubino's just starting off hot. Although he has missed a few shots here into lower dark, he makes up for it later on in the round. So solid work from Rubino. 14th round, 6 rounds for Dignitas, 7 for G2, and Mage's boy about to have a party over here on long because they're just going to be rushing him down. Perfectly timed anti-flash, and there's the big spray. 2-for-1 trade. Dignitas will take that any day of the week.
Config over here, up in the smoke, could try and fall back again. They're in a 4v3. Doesn't really need to fight this, but Screamer's no idea where he still gets the headshot. Shock's just gone down, though, but Smith's in the middle going to be taking out MSL, and again, Dignitas, I would say, not quite able to stop the aggression. Like, once the fight is in, they are all in. Rubino holding middle with the AWP, but he needs to get into the B-bomb site. Now he actually can't. G2 in a very good position right now.
A little bit of a scary situation there. They do manage to sneak it past Smiths, though. He has to be careful. He doesn't have his teammate in position to hold off a push through doors when he gets this plant, and so that's why he's trying to change it up. A little bit of a tricky play there, trying to draw some kind of reaction. But in the meantime, Cajun B is working his way through upper dark. So this is almost a situation. It looks like they want to just go and challenge. And Scream is going to find the headshot on Rubino. That gives it all up. Now they know exactly where Cajun is coming from. Scream, drop the op, give it to Smiths. We've seen you on Dust 2 B side with the op before, but this time he comes through. He actually gets the shot. But I think every time I see Scream pick up an AWP, I'm going to remember him on Plateau missing like 10 shots in a row.
Yeah, that is something we never want to see again, basically. But They really need to stop fighting Dignitas. They get into the better position and then they can't control themselves. They keep doing it.
It's the Viking bloodlust. Just comes their blood starts boiling, and what is it? The berserkers, right?
Yeah, they've eaten the mushrooms and now they're just ready for it. I mean, it is definitely a problem. And we talked about this on Nuke yesterday. Oh wow. All right then. Why not? Attempted upper dark push coming in from G2, shot down. Oh, sorry, from Dignitas, shot down by Scream. Very impressive spray there. Yeah, it's a very fixable problem. I think that's why I'm getting annoyed as well. It's one of those things that's very easy to change, literally from one game to the next. It just requires someone to shout loud enough on TeamSpeak, say, "Stop fighting." Good shot from Cage and taking down Body. What is even happening here? 1 versus 3 turned into a 1v2. All on Cajun here for the 15th round.
And Cajun certainly, yeah, he is not giving up the fight. Incendiaries, HEs, I mean, they're using the superior utility that they have here at G2 to make sure that Cajun can't really get in here to challenge this bomb plant. But with 45 seconds left, G2, they're in no hurry. Shox is just going to stick it, and so Cajun looking to take advantage of that. He knows that while Shox is sticking it, he's in a 1v1. If he can win that duel, then he knows where the last guy is. Doesn't quite work out, though, but solid play coming in from Cajun. And I still think, a fairly respectable scoreline here at the half. I mean, still a bit of a T-sided map, 9-6. I mean, Dignitas can definitely work with this if they don't allow G2 to establish a strong economy early on.
No, definitely, but I think so this a couple of rounds, right? The first one that Dignitas won was the ridiculous 1v4 for Shox, where Cajun somehow didn't go down.
Yep.
So honestly, this could have been way worse. This could have been 10-5 as sort of minimum. It could have been 11-4 as well. Oh yeah. It could also have been 8-7 in favor of Dignitas if they didn't throw away some of these rounds where they have the 5-3 advantage. They did that a couple of times, and it is mainly due to them continuously fighting. Like, instead of waiting, they just keep challenging. And G2 are a team that's so good, you can't do that. Now, into the second half here, it's already a great opening. Rush right onto B, and Config starts it.
Now we have to see. I mean, G2 picked up the first round pistol, so we'll see if Dignitas can start off strong, and it's looking like it. Config unleashed right now. 2 kills for him. That leaves it down to Scream, Body, and RPK to see if they can't find one back. Scream with the boost, looking, but Cajun is crouched. He's not going to get caught by this trick, it looks like. Well played by Cajun.
Yeah, that's a very good position. He can hold that. He knows they got support in offer as well. RPK goes down, and so does Body, and that leaves Scream. Just not enough time here. Mega's going to take him out. Dignitas with a much-needed pistol round here is certainly going to help them out. And just a B rush as well. Nothing really fancy about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, and to add to your point that we were talking about during the downtime there, it's just, it could have been so much worse because Dignitas won both of the 1v1 clutches in that first half. Yeah. The Shoxy one, but then also the MSL one over on A site. Yeah. And so I imagine they lose those. I mean,
then it's 12-3 or something.
Yeah, then it's, yeah, exactly. They have nothing to go off of. So a couple of key rounds going their way basically kept them in the half, but now they get the job done here at the beginning of the T side for themselves. They pick up the pistol, so it's 7-9. They have the guns, and interestingly enough, they're not wasting any time with UMPs. They aren't going for the SMG game. 4 AKs with a UMP to back it on MSL. Just have a few nades to work with here. So catwalk cleared out. And we can see the difference here between the two teams as well, is that Dignitas right now, this is all just them taking their time, figuring out where G2 are set up, and basically opening up their options. As soon as they have cat control, they can go anywhere. They can push onto A, but they can also set up for the B split. So Dignitas, very methodical play so far to start things off.
Config lurking around, really wants to find out if there's anyone else here. Does spot out Scream and ends up going down. Maggie's there to follow it up, and now that leaves Shox alone up on Goose. He's going to get a couple of targets here. Actually goes a little bit early and goes for the fight here. MSL will take him down, but still 2 kills happening. Not the end of the world. They didn't invest too much into this round, G2, so I think that's acceptable.
That's a tough break. Okay, like having shorter rounds after shorter time after the round is over, because that's still $300 that MSL could have made by planting the bomb, right? But yeah, you hardly have the time to get it down. If you win the duel, you want to make that extra money. It's really hard to do now. So just a small detail, but it was a nice little thing if you are close enough to get that bomb down, even on your own, to just get a little bit of bonus money.
Rubino. Very good headshot there on Body. Again, they don't really have anything this round, G2, but still you want to make sure you don't give up too many kills. Like Rubino over at B probably doesn't need to fight this anymore. There's not really any point. He could easily get tagged up, and indeed he's going to be going down. MSL to follow as well, and Magus is kind of low. I mean, I don't think G2 will win this round, but they are losing more money than they really need to.
Certainly. Especially when they've made the investment in AKs. Cajun B heard Scream stomping over towards T-Spawn, so that's an easy one. Yep, going to catch him out. The thing he needs to worry about now is RPK, but he knows that RPK was around CT, so... Yeah, I mean, now once things calm down and they have a little bit of a chance to breathe, Dignitas start playing it perfectly, but... Although Config doesn't necessarily need to go hunting right now, Cajun's already holding this angle. There we go. Gets the kill. All right, tied up at 9-9, and now we can really get into it, because in the 19th round, G2 finally have the money to buy. Smiths has enough money for an AWP. We'll have to see. I mean, he should be going for it.
MSL and Rubino, they're down under 1,000, both of them, because of just giving away a lot of equipment in the previous round, and without any real reason. Why do you need that kill over at B if you're going to put the bomb down on A? You know, it's just not necessary. Small things, but still. Meg is going to be running out long here. This is a tied scoreline, as you said, and we'll see if G2 can hold here. They're actually going to flash their way through the smoke, and that works perfectly. Shox getting 2 and following up with a triple there, and that's a complete shutdown. Very well played. The round is done within, what, 7 seconds of the first engagement? That's very impressive.
And this is basically just that haymaker that got thrown out by Dignitas. And then, you know, basically G2, you know, they just ducked right under it and countered. And
yeah, and I mean, that's exactly right. And the way they're standing over along like that, I would say 9 times out of 10, if that smoke is up and you're on long, the better choice is to fall back. It's so scary being on long because you can get caught in the middle. You've got no cover. You're just caught in the middle of everything. But they obviously very intentionally waited and flashed their way through. That was just beautiful play.
That flash timing, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody on Dignitas, pure white.
Very good stuff. You've got to feel like you're just being hard counted at that point, you know, you can't do anything.
Well, I mean, Dignitas, they still have some money in this round. 2 rifles picked up, the AWP, a couple of pistols on Dignitas.
Could have been 4 rifles if MSL and Rubino hadn't... I'm just...
Right? No, but I agree with you. I agree. It's something that needs to be taken into account.
I don't want to be that guy, but I am that guy, so just gonna embrace it at this point. But still, I mean, a dangerous buy here for Dignitas. Not as good as it could have been, but still able to make really a big impact. Love to see them use Cajun to open one of these. Just, he has space in the middle, and he's sort of looking at the middle right now, but move him up to catwalk instead of config. Let him be the one to open it up.
I think Shox has an idea of what's going on here. He might have been able to see that angle on the smoke. Turns away from the flash. Smith is protected from the flash. I like this on a slope instead of being towards cars. And right now, this is all about the split on long. And RPK going to trade 1 for 1. That can be good enough because Smith's, exactly, due to the positioning, he can fall back onto the site. He's going to be able to pick up catwalk, and Shox is there to help him out with long as well. And Smith, what a shot on the Cajun B. 2 for him. Make that 3. Could go for 4, and he's just barely going to miss the shot. Man, he's not going to be long for this world. 4 kills for Smiths. What a round from him with that AWP. That is perfect.
I want to live in a world where Smith plays like this on every map.
I agree.
Just imagine that. It's really cool, really well done from Smith. It's so odd.
Oh, why? Take a bow. Take a bow.
Well,
there you go.
What you guys can't see is that Yango is standing right in front of us saying, what did I say? He did say it. He did say it. G2 to win with Smith carrying, and that around like that is terrifying. It's not the only one he's had. Very well done. Now they're back down to very nearly nothing here. Armor and pistol on Magus. That's about it.
This is the hardest situation to come back from, basically, for Dignitas because they've just been countered twice. Although, this is starting to get a little scary. Shoxy with the AK is going to be able to step in here and start taking the fight. Play it careful. Wait for the mates. Manages to bring it back to a 2-on-2, but not to actually have some guns. Although, as I say, that Scream catches him lined up. So, definitely a little bit scarier than it needed to be.
That's horrifying. That could have really gone badly. That was the scenario that I was just talking about. If you get caught on long like that, you know, once Smith decides to stay there with the AWP, he's done. You know, there's nothing he could do. He just has to try and get like maybe a double kill with the AWP or something, but it's very difficult to do anything about. Now, We're at 12-9. This game isn't settled yet, but it really feels like G2 have more of a hold on the game right now than Dignitas do.
Well, they've countered Dignitas twice on the big power plays that Dignitas were going for, right? Very quick, coordinated takes, and both times Dignitas just got shut out. And so now Dignitas, right, back to default, back to basics, basically. They have to find a way to get some confidence, especially if Smith is going to be playing aggro like that. Shoxy not really in position to back his mate up, which is interesting enough. Especially considering he drops down to the slope afterwards.
Oh, look at Upper Dark, though. There's a push coming in, and actually, Body gets that shot. Very difficult to do. Rubino is going to be pissed because you have such an angle advantage if you're standing where Rubino is, so that's very impressive. And that actually killed a lot of the round for Dignitas. Now they have, first of all, they have no information about whether or not G2 are moving forward. They don't know if they're in Lower Dark right now and they're sandwiched in. This is going to create a lot of paranoia on this team.
This is super sick. What a play. Oh, what a shot from Shoxy. Expected. Sees that it's a smoke, realizes he's got some space to work with here. He wants to make sure that they aren't able to wrap back around, but he's got his mates in mid, and so there's no doubt now it is going to be an A push coming in here for Dignitas. And well, now they just need to get the bomb plant safely, but RPK is going to challenge it long, and two big shots coming through for Dignitas make this much closer. But Maggie's boy is now the last man alive. Problem for him is that the bomb is dropped in a horrible position. It's out on catwalk. He has to run over there, and he's only got 20 seconds.
Yeah, Scream is moving his position a little bit here, but some really devastating headshots coming out of Magisk right now. 13 seconds left, and Scream is right underneath him. Could be in a perfect position to even make the jump shot. Scream is coming through with the AK. He's not quite going to risk it. And that's the smart play, definitely. Magisk looking the wrong way and Scream walking in right behind him. This could be an easy kill, and indeed it will be. Scream to pick it up, and 13 rounds for G2 here. Looking very good. A little bit of a stumble in that 2v3, but they do work it out. It plays out well. Getting
Don't
stuck.
get stuck on things, Scream. But more importantly, that's also the first 1v1 kind of clutch that G2 are winning here. So something finally goes their way. It did look a little scary there for a second when it took Scream a few bullets to get the kill. I thought it would just be as usual, crisp, clean, one tap. But there was a moment where I thought maybe Boy could whip around and take his head off. But that would have been too cruel. G2, they will get up to 13 rounds. 9 rounds now for Dignitas. And because of the bomb plant, they have the money to go for a buy here, Dignitas, because they realize they can't really let G2 get up onto 14 rounds.
I think Cajun already used that card on them earlier with shots. It can't happen again. Scream in the middle in some trouble. Just way too many people there. And he ends up going down to Cajun.
And that's, yeah, questionable. Curious what was the plan there for Scream, because he was just wide out in the open. If anybody's challenging in mid, he's a dead man. I mean, he's got that AK probably, so he's just thinking, hey, if I can find that headshot at headshot box, or if I can do that, great. But this has actually put his team in a bit of a tough spot now.
Wondering what, you can tell that there's a definite plan going here with Rubino and Cajun holding lower, and then the rest rotating back through T-spawn.
Right. Sorry.
They're really picking up like they've got a real read on what's happening here. See if it's going to be the right one. Over at long, they're going to walk right into RPK, and an effective trade followed up. Smith's missing a shot, and now he's trapped behind the container, missing one more shot, and he's finally going to be going down. This is a big win right here for Dignitas, and a much needed one. They need to win this round in the next couple just to get back into the game, actually. Shox is still on the slope here, and he's going to be going down. Cajun strafing right into it, and Body, 1-on-3.
It's just very questionable positioning all around. For this is like a write-off round for G2. Forget this round ever happened, or rather, you're going to remember it, but you only review it in demo and figure out what the hell were we thinking, because each and every duel there was nobody to trade kill, no possible trade kill. RPK was committed alone in Longhouse. Smiths wasn't in position. Smiths was stuck in a one-and-done sort of situation where he has to kill or die. He has no way to fall back. Smiths just... or rather Scream out in mid. I mean, just a bunch of situations where it was just really awkward for G2.
Just to elaborate on that even, if Smith is in the doorway, then the first thing they see is Smith, and then RPK's in the corner. The positioning literally made no sense. Yeah, you're right. Let's just forget about that. Let's not even look at it in a demo, ever.
It never happened. I mean, tough start there for Smiths. But, I mean, pistol round here for G2, so it's kind of a write-off at this point. They have invested a little bit. Scream had some extra dough in the bank because he survived that 1v1 clutch, and so he goes for the Kevlar helmet. Shoxy holding close, going to get caught by MSL, and it should be all falling into place, although they decided to go and take the fight at the one place where there are still players alive here for the CT side, B site.
Yes, and Again, not really necessary. I mean, they could try and take this AK away from Scream if they feel it's necessary, but ultimately, they should just try and get the bomb down, make sure the round is done, and survive with as many members as they can, basically. We'll see. Body, and just a deagle here, and 18 health. Right now, Dignitas not hunting for anybody. All right.
Can you get my bag, please?
There we go.
No, there.
We're just having some communication issues. Now, 24th round here, and the scoreline is about to be 11-13. And it could be a little bit interesting to see if Dignitas can make the full comeback. They gave up a really big lead yesterday in one of their games, and it turned into a bit of an awkward situation. But ultimately, with this kind of a lead, I kind of expect G2 to come out on top. I know Yanko's going to be pissed if it doesn't happen.
Oh, you killed my mic. Thank you. Yanko, yeah. It's just the situation where Smith is going to wake up and go Super Saiyan, even though Scream loves Dragon Ball Z and is a big fan. Got like Son Goku and all that usually is his avatar. Smith is going to be the one with the AWP to just go ham here.
Well, he also has the hair for it. I never realized that was the connection. It's growing that Dragon Ball Z hair. MSL going to be taking down Scream, so a bit of a refrag, and that really was the important kill, because, again, Scream had the AK saved from the previous round, so that was the one kill you needed to get in this round to pretty much win it and draw it a little bit closer to a tied scoreline here. Pretty much almost certainly going to be 12-13 here. RPK has picked up an AK, but he's very low on health, and he's going to go down without getting a chance to use it. Oh, good shot from Config.
Feel good moment, right? Smith is gone as well. They should actually really just stop feeding themselves to Config, because this is just doing nothing but building up his confidence. So run and die to somebody else if you're going to die, just to stop giving this guy kills. And, well, Body doesn't even need to die. He's going to pick up a kill. Nicely done. Make it just a little bit more expensive here for Dignitas. Could try and find a follow-up as well, and he is going to be looking towards Longhouse. Bomb goes boom. Loses 1 point of health, and the rest of them, it's just not enough time to run back up there to pick up a gun. So focus on this round now. Smith has got money for the AWP. Shocks could go glass cannon, but I really wouldn't be a big fan of that. I think he should go for the rifle and get the grenades to back it up. Be much better for them right now, G2. You don't have mountains of cash, and you really need to make it count this round. And so, yeah, it is going to be 4 rifles, the AWP. They have a kit on Shoxy, G2. They have all the necessary tools here to shut Dignitas out. And now it's a question of seeing what Dignitas want to go for. And Dignitas, they're just going to go for default. So this is super standard. Actually, from both teams as well. Just very standard stuff. Nobody willing to make a mistake in this key round. Or not make the first mistake.
Dignitas do have a pretty scary economy, even after buying a couple of rifles in this round. So G2 could be in some trouble if they don't pick this up. Then suddenly Dignitas are going to be able to buy almost for the rest of the game. So got to be careful right here. Classic setup with Smiths being over at the car, but if they go for the A-bomb side, you've got to expect some of these positions will be smoked out. And Smiths has to try and readjust a little bit. Gonna go mid instead, and they're actually very quick in here. Smoke goes up, so Shox can't even do anything about this right now. Maybe he could try and run through, but that's a big risk to try and take. In the bomb side, though, Scream is going to take down the bomb, but it doesn't matter. Coming back into it is Rubino and Conflict with 2 big kills, and this is G2 having to fall back. They can't fight this.
Yeah, you can't fight it, especially when Dignitas right now. It's perfect. It's really working out so clean with the push from upper dark, timed well with the push from mid. They just collapse on that site. There's nowhere to go on the defense, basically. And so, I mean, a very quick, well-executed B-split like that is so tough to deal with. You just have to be able to get that first pick to make them stumble. And if you can't quite do that, yeah, you're going to get run over like this. So, G2... this is not a feel-good moment for them because they aren't going to have the economy to continue to push afterwards. If we can bring the scoreboard up real quick, they should be in a situation now. Well, obviously they can't understand me. So,
you don't know Russian for scoreboard?
AWP. What is it?
I don't know. I expect you to do some research here, Sam. This is your job after all. You know, put some work into it.
Where's Starks when I need him?
Okay,
hold on. They still. They still have a little bit, but it would be a real stretch.
Yeah, we might be in. I mean, considering how much on fire Dignitas are right now, might be time for a tactical timeout soon for G2. That round is really good for G2 because they sell it so well when they go up catwalk. Like that play is so good. Like all the smokes that go in and everything. Shox is drawn way out of middle. He's all the way up towards the A-bomb site. So sure that it's going to be a push there. And this round is sort of falling apart as well. Well, Scream, that's going to good kill him, but it's not really going to matter in the end. The config is in spawn with the bomb, so if he got caught, that would be awkward. But yeah, that last round was really well orchestrated by Dignitas. I mean, the split is good, but it's even what happens before the split that really sets it up nicely for them. I'll see RPK and Smith here. 2 versus 4 at the moment.
It's really excellent, though. It's just Dignitas's perseverance here. You'd see any like I mean, Dignitas are not a tier 2 team anymore. They're definitely a tier 1, but any tier 2 team in that sort of scenario where G2 have got them by the throats might just roll over and G2 run away with the game in the key round. Dignitas, instead, they persevere even when they had the rough start to the half, apart from winning the pistol. I mean, when it started to get bumpy, still hung in there. And now it's working out. Well, 2 kills here for G2. We'll be making it expensive again for Dignitas, but there's really no way for G2 to get in here. They want to save both of these guns, and so they aren't even going to commit to taking over this site. And I really don't think that Dignitas should be hunting that hard. Let them have the guns. Doesn't matter. You know they're going to be buying in the next round anyway. And Dignitas, I mean, you have an AWP at risk. Maze Boy, your AK. Just leave it be.
Yeah, RPK not going to get shot on the back. He's just waiting there for a while. So much money. You see 11,000 on Cajun and Config at the beginning of this round. So they did have quite a bit. 25 kills on Config, not at all bad either. Not that far behind is Shox on 23 on the other team. 14 to 13 here. And suddenly Dignitas are in a really good position. They've taken 5 rounds in a row here, unanswered by G2.
Shots. This is just really slow stuff. Like, this is where it starts to get into, like, by rote, and it's going to be luck that decides it. Scream catches FSL. Config with the headshot on him back through the smoke at mid doors.
Just a slightly ridiculous trade in every respect. Nice little boost up here, RPK being up on the container. But this is very much an all-in type position. You know, if he's caught off guard by even a second, he can't really go anywhere. Maybe fall back next to the container, but still not quite good enough, I think. 4-on-4 is definitely going to favor Dignitas. We'll see if they can make something of it. They're putting up a smoke, suggesting there could be a B split coming. And with Shox being this close to the middle, this time he's not gonna be in the wrong spot, you can tell.
No, and he doesn't have an AWP like we saw earlier on. He's going to have that rifle. Single man, however, on that B side itself. So I do agree with Dignitas' decision to split B. This could get really nice, although Shoxy's going to win the duel versus Maze Boy, who decides to hold a grenade in his hand when he peeks around the corner. Body, though, what a flash! Perfect team play. That completely halts Dignitas in the push. And this is it. The anti-flash is going to make the difference, although Shoxy is stepping up right now. He is going to get his second kill. Cajun B just comes whipping around the corner and takes his head off.
Yeah, but Cajun is so much trouble here. He's got 20 seconds. He's going to put down the bomb. Smith's not peeking right now, waiting a little bit for RPK to get in, and that's a really good idea. Just make sure and box him in. Cajun playing the one position he can. He's going to miss the shot, and that might have been his only chance. Taken out by RPK. Very well played by G2. And some trivial mistakes coming out of Dignitas. Maybe especially the Molotov peek in middle. Scary stuff.
I just love that anti-flash that comes in from Shox. That's like the money shot. And that's the danger of that situation. In a world where Maze Boy doesn't peek around the corner with a grenade in his hand and say he wins that duel versus Shox, Body's a dead man, 100%. But because Shox is alive, boom, he can provide that support. Body gets a kill. That allows Shoxy to fall into position to pick up another kill. It's just, it all falls into place. So nice and neat there for G2. But that definitely looked very scary for a moment. And well, if... Curious. I mean, Dignitas right now, they're like, Scream, if you're going to keep challenging in mid, we're going to go ahead and try and punish you. But it's Config who actually comes out pretty far behind there.
Got the double AWP setup right now on the G2 side. Interesting to see if they can make that work. A lot of damage already being put into Config, and Shox also taking a little bit. Scream occupying a position that's meant to counter a B split, so we'll see if that's going to be effective. But Meg is already down here. Smith's catching him over at long. That's a very cool kill. And it looks like it will be another B split coming in, so Body and Scream are going to have to take care of business here. Cajun slowly opening up with the AW keep. He could be walking into Shocks as well, who's all the way up there. This is a nice setup.
Oh, that smoke. Can Scream actually see anything? Can he peek above it? No, he's going to fall off. Now it'd all be down to that second sense. Yeah, he's going to go for the spray, but he's just a second too late. If he'd have caught Config in the back, I think the Dane would have broken down into tears. In tears, rather.
Oh, no, Body.
Yeah, no support for Body. Look at this.
They're about to walk in right behind him. They're getting this so slowly. I don't think they even realize. Now Body sees it coming, but it's too late in the middle. A little bit of a shooting gallery. MSL, in fact, picking up 2 big kills there, taking out Scream and Smiths. Now it's a 2-on-3, and they have to fight for this. Even though they're a man down and it's the B-bomb site, they can't just give them map point here. Charging on in. Rubino sees RPK coming, going to fall back to safety and to try and hold them off here. They even have a Molotov on MSL. Is he going to get in time? They're both, if they both come in from upper, that Molotov wins the round for them.
There's no reason to go for it, it looks like. Although, I mean, a kill here, they both have kits, but they've let a lot of time tick off this clock. I really don't think, yeah, I really don't think it was worth going for it at that point.
Yeah, but at the same time, giving them 15 rounds is so scary. They do have money on 3 players at least for G2, so it's not going to be the perfect buy, but it will sort of put something together for them here. Dignitas with a massive comeback here in the second half. Very well played. It was 9-6 the first half in favor of G2. Now Dignitas up to 15-14 here, and we are going the full distance here. All 30 rounds being played. The first map of day 3 here at Epicenter, and I mean, day 2 was insane, so if day 3 is going to start off like this, I'm excited. Some of the best matches, I think, are going to probably happen later today. We've got some high-powered games coming up as well.
Oh, no, today is where, well, dreams are shattered, basically. There's $500,000 on the line here in this prize pool. So,
there's a very real chance that someone could go home due to round difference.
Oh, no. It's happened. It's going to happen guaranteed now.
That's
basically it. We're going to have that scenario where
well, it could be the head-to-head,
counts. Right? Every round counts.
Oh, so scary. So incredibly scary.
Yeah, that is not a fun scenario to play in, but Dignitas should be feeling pretty good. They just need to get a lot of rounds versus G2, and so far, they're up to 15. Maybe they get one more and actually take the map. Find out in just a moment here, and it would continue the trend of teams winning each other's maps. Body, big spray with that UMP, but he's not going to be able to follow through. And once again, Dignitas, they've really figured out that this B split is the ticket here to a win versus G2. They're doing a fantastic job.
This time G2 was actually in a really tough position. Did Config hear RPK running? I think he did, and he's right at the edge. RPK going to lose that fight, and there's a double kill for Config. Now a 1-on-3 with just 22 health for Smiths here, who has had a very good game, but it looks like Dignitas are going to be able to take the first map. There's almost nothing that Smiths could do at this point in time. If they just hide, that's it. Meg is going to take him out, and 16-14, Dignitas make the comeback happen and take out G2 on Dust 2.
And this just continues the trend that we've seen so far. The real interesting, the one that really just flips this whole tournament on its head is that everybody keeps winning their opponent's map pick.
Yeah.
And then losing theirs. So when is that going to change? Maybe it actually happens here because Dignitas are looking good. This match is so even right now.
Yeah.
Definitely thought that G2 would be able to bring a little bit more to the table, but Dignitas, I mean, they that slow approach at the beginning of the half, they ran into difficulties with the rush plays, so then they start going back to default, and they identified, well, B site, this B split, this seems to be working quite well for us, and they just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of their mistakes, most of the mistakes happen on the CT side, and they're so easy to fix. I mean, if they do that, then the leap forwards will be really big. That would be scary all on its own. So, an exciting team to watch still, and obviously there's room for improvement. But yeah, they're fighting pretty hard. That was Dust 2. Overpass is going to be the second map, and curious about that one too. I know they feel confident, especially Megaspore, as I was saying, feels really good about that map.
I think this is one of those scenarios where we're going to have, I mean, it's tough to say when this map went 16-14, but it's going to be a brawl on that map.
Yeah.
Both of the teams, I mean, they feel good on it, but it's not their best map, so it's going to be a little bit of a wishy-washy back and forth.
I was going to say, you know who isn't feeling good? It's Alex.
Nice one.